Hello, this is James. All right, now that we've had our Obelisk the Tormentor boner fuel, now that we've been tormented properly, only 4 more days, guys, only 4 more days, then we get Obelisk. We are going to discuss some proper leaks with the Selection Box Volume 2. So this is evidently a seasonal event. Well, I want to say every 6 months, because the last Selection Box was actually on the last anniversary, and then they had a mini box. I'm just arbitrarily sticking at 6 months afterwards. And then a full year following the first Selection Main Box, Volume 1, we have Selection Box Volume 2. Now, since it's been 6 months or so since the last Selection Box, there's a lot of new players that have never even heard of the Selection Box. So let's talk about what the Selection Box is briefly before we go into the new cards. So the Selection Box is Konami's attempt, is their opportunity. Well, it's their attempt to reprint cards. So a lot of cards that like you've been salivating over by getting beaten in PvP, like your Mass Change, your Ankies, your midfielders, your Noble Knights, these for some reason, Battery People. Those cards get reprinted, and that is the bulk of the box. But then they slip in some exclusive cards. They slip in some temporarily exclusive cards. So like Angel of Zera, Eccentric Boy, Necrovalley are entirely new to the game of Duel Links. And then here's the catch: is that you can only buy a limited number of packs out of the box with gems, and then the rest of it costs money. It has to cost money. So if you want to get trip copies of these new ultra rares, you got to shell out the big bucks if you want to get it before everyone else. Like that's the thinking behind the Selection Box. The actual math is that it has 16 ultra rares and 44 super rares in the main Selection Box, and it's every single pack has an ultra rare or a super rare. So in the Selection Main Box, there's 60 packs, 16 ultra rares, and then 2 times 22 super rares, right? So 44 and 16 is 60. So each pack gets one of the 60 cards, and you have to, and after you buy 15 packs with gems, you have to pay them with money. The gem packs it's expensive. It's like 200 gems per pack, and then I think $4 per pack after that. And then there's like a little bit of like you can buy 3 and get like $1 off, like a deal like that. But you know what? It's great. You know, if you just came in and you want to get your Ankies, you want to get your midfielders. I wouldn't recommend going into this for Tricky, because Tricky's in a mini box, but you can. It's great if you want to get that, and then you can get these new cards, especially this one. But I don't, it's since you're getting, premium, temporary exclusives, like you're paying a lot of money for that, especially if you want to get the trip copies. But you don't fear, like if you don't want to pay just money for the Selection Box, these ultra rares are released later, but like, in some cases it's much later. Like they'll do one of each of these in like, the next 4 or 5 main boxes. And for the, all right, let's talk about the new cards, and then we'll go back to some math, and then we'll close it out. So we have Angel of Zera, a level 8 generic tuner, generic synchro, 100 attack for each of your opponent's banished cards. During the standby phase, after this card is banished, special summon this banished card. You can only use this effect of Angel of Zera once per turn. I don't know. This seems like a junk ultra rare to me, but and we know it's an ultra rare because on the title, we have Angel of Zera ultra rare. We have Eccentric Boy super rare. So there's 2 of him in the box, and then Necrovalley ultra rare. So Eccentric Boy. When I read the first sentence of this card, I started hyperventilating. But just calm down. Level 3 Wind Tuner, when using this card as Synchro Material, the other Synchro Material monster is one monster in your hand. You can get a level 8 Synchro out for free. You normal summon your Eccentric Boy. Opponent cannot use Treacherous Trapple because he's the only monster on the field. And you don't have to summon the level 5 from your hand. You can just use it. Combos. The Synchro monster that uses material as Synchro Material cannot activate its effects. Its effects is negated and is removed from play when removed from the field. So basically, you just summon out a Synchro Beater. That might be useful, but I'm not gonna pay good money for like a half strong card. Like I want to pay good money for fully strong cards. And you can't even get off something like Dark Pulse with this because Dark Pulse needs the card to be sent to the graveyard, I think. And then Eccentric Boy, when the monster is destroyed, it would get banished. So Eccentric Boy, but you don't have to, if you want all your Eccentric Boys, there's 2 of them in the box to begin with, so you don't have to reset as much. But all right, and that's all good and nice. But we have these are kind of meta crushers. So, Necrovalley, all Gravekeeper's monsters gain 500 attack and defense. Cards in the graveyard cannot be banished, so it's just sealed tombs forever. Negate any card effect that would move a card in this graveyard to a different place. Negate any card effect that changes type or attributes in the graveyard. Okay, we don't have to worry about that third one. Negate any card effect that would move a card in the graveyard to a different place. And preventing cards in the graveyard from being banished. That's Koakai's. That's Spellbooks. That's not meta, but it's Tribute Burial. What else? I mean, this doesn't, for example, this doesn't hit Silent Waifu directly. It hits Silent Waifu indirectly because you basically can't, if you play Necrovalley, the opponent can't play their spellbooks. Also, Masked Heroes, they can't banish their Celestial. Bacon Saver. Relink Karibo. All manner of annoying cards are negated by the Necrovalley. We're also getting Spore, which we know for a fact is an ultra rare. So previously, this is the big time. This is the Synchro big time. If this card is in your graveyard, you can banish one other plant-type monster from your graveyard, special summon that card from your graveyard. Increase its level by the level of the banished monster. Each player can only activate the effect of Spore once per duel. So this is a really good Synchro monster, especially off of Komushrimo. You have your plant deck, you have your Komushrimo mills Spore, and a bunch of other plants. Then you have a selection of levels to choose from. Normal summon, I don't know, Marshall Leaf. Spore off of a Sylvan Guardioke. Guardioke is level 6, and then Spore's level 1. So then Spore's level 7. Marshall Leaf is level 2, and then you have a level 9 Synchro, or you can do a level 5 plant monster. Arrowmage Bergamot into your level 8 Stardust Dragon, or whatever better Synchro monster. Spore, if you get Spore off of your gem packs and like there's still Anki and midfielder and whatever in the box, please reset. Please reset. You don't have to. I'm not requiring you to, but Spore is very, very good. And again, we do know that it's an ultra rare from the skill. From the skill that gives us Spore. Spore has a little thing that says it's an ultra rare. We're also getting Wiseman's Chalice. All right. Here. Let's talk about the last ultra. I'm pretty sure that this is an ultra rare because it's removal. Night Beam. Target one set spell trap your opponent controls. Destroy that target. Cannot activate the targeted card in response to this card's activation. So if your opponent has a Canadia, just has a Canadia, and you have a monster and you hit it with Night Beam, they can't activate the Canadia. Canadia just goes to the graveyard. However, the opponent can still chain, if they have 2 set cards and the second one's chainable, they can chain the second one and then chain the Canadia to that second card. So Night Beam is, it's pretty good removal, but it's it's less flexible than like Cosmic Cyclone or Galaxy Cyclone. But since this is like generic removal, this is an ultra rare for sure. So here's, I think, there are the ultra rares, and then, you know, combined with the ultra rares that we know. So this is an ultra rare. This is an ultra rare off of the banner again. Ultra rare. So that's 1, 2. This is generic removal. That's an ultra rare. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, and again, Spore in the skill box, it's an ultra rare. So Spore is your 16th ultra rare. Everything else that you see here is likely going to be a super rare, and so that means that there's 2 of each of these in the box, and we're getting Wiseman's Chalice. If you control no monsters, select 1 monster in your opponent's graveyard, special summon it. During the end phase of this turn, give it back. The opponent cannot be tributed or used as a synchro material while it is face up on the field. I like this. It's stealing the opponent's monsters. However, it's secretly not a great card because you have to control no monsters. So, you know, you could use it as like a recovery card. Like, that would be good. But you can't use it in the early game because your opponent has to have monsters in their graveyard, which they probably won't have. And like, because you have to control no monsters, so it's early game. But then your opponent has to have monsters in the graveyard, which in the early game they probably won't. So Wiseman's Chalice has like a limited band, and it's not going to win the game on turn 2. So not great for Duel Links, but I like it. And Masked Hero Dian, I got some comments off of the Solid Soldier mask change in the Obelisk video. We need an Earth Attribute monster for mask change, and we have him. Masked Hero Dian, Earth Attribute, level 8, Warrior Fusion. So for mask change, he needs an Earth Warrior to mask change. Must be special summoned with mask change, cannot be summoned with other ways. Destroys an opponent's monster by battle, sends it to the graveyard. You can special summon 1 level 4 or lower hero monster from your deck. So that's less good than Anki, but more swarmy? I don't know. Yeah, because you get the destroy, and then it's similar to Anki because you're getting another attack. Masked Hero Dian is giving you another attack, so I hesitate to call this free to play Anki. Perhaps cheaper to play Anki is more appropriate. Let's see, we talked about that, and HTS Psyhemoth. Earth Attribute, level 6, generic. After damage calculation, when this card battles the opponent's monster, you can banish that monster, also banish this card. This is very difficult to use and cumbersome DD Assailant or DD Warrior. And Samsara, Dragon of Rebirth. If this card is destroyed by battle, it's sent to the graveyard, or if this card you control is sent to your graveyard by an opponent's card effect, you can target 1 monster in either player's graveyard except itself, special summon it. You can only use this effect of Samsara, Dragon of Rebirth, once per turn. So, 100 attack, 2600 defense. I guess. Yeah. Oh wow, this is like a really round. I mean, if you're gonna use this, just use this. Yeah, because well, it revives your own monsters, but you can also use it to steal your opponent's monster, and then It's cool, but it's so like you need it. It can't attack basically. It's like a well, you can use it to stall. Okay, you know what? I take that back. You can use Samsara, Dragon of Rebirth, to stall, and then if your opponent does destroy it, then by a card effect, 1 monster in either player's graveyard. Special summon. I don't really know about that. All right, but overall, do I like this as a selection box? I do, because I mean this thing where they sneak in the timed exclusives, like that's okay. Whatever, they have to make money, but you know the other ultra rares that you're getting, they're good. Everybody loves Ties of the Brethren. This card has worth going forward because it works on everything, not just gears. You can use DDR for Psyhemoth. Hey, Tricky's great, but you know he's also in a mini box. Salvage, Konami seems to love water monsters. Battery People, Anki, Midfielder, and the Noble Knights are all great. Like these are good decks. These are good decks that these cards come from. And then Metamorphosed Insect Queen. But of course, the real prize is the Spore. So that concludes all of the leaked information that I have off of the tournament install. If you haven't seen the Boner Fuel video, be sure to watch that. Thank you for watching.